Hi, this is Nate, CEO of Nvenergyllc. Today we're going to talk about what is on your roof.
Hi, it's Nate Vignola, NV Energy LLC here in Leominster. And one of the things I want to go over is the importance of what goes on your roof. And the number one thing is the roof penetration, the racking, the pieces and the parts that hold the panels to the roof. Very, very important. Um, and many folks who are just getting into solar, very few have an idea of what this actually entails. Myself as a contractor, know exactly what goes into this, and I'm always looking out for my customers. So there are some contractors out there that use different materials. Let's take a look at this one. They're doing the layout, all right, and whatnot. So we'll just get right to the mount. So one thing I noticed right away from this mount, there's no flash. All right, and these bolts are supposed to go into the underlayment, which is your plywood and whatnot of your roof. Um, I don't know how this really got past any building inspection slash reliability or what have you, because the underlayment on your roof is not designed to have this concentration of weight. I mean, if you're going to take half a panel, which is going to be 4 or 5 square foot, and maybe more, and put it on this point, that's a problem. The roof is not designed for that. Okay. And one of the things, I'm just going to stop it right here. So one of the things may not be absolutely clear on solar panels and racking and whatnot, but it's aluminum and glass. This expands with temperature, contracts. So all these mounts rock back and forth to get pushed side to side. Okay, the only thing that's going to absorb that is the tile itself. It's your shingle, and they're not designed for that. They kind of this weight going back and forth, and it's going to crack through here, and there isn't any sealant there. It's going to crack on the front. There's no sealant there, so it's just asking for water to get into your house. All right, let's take a look at another one. All right. All right, so they drilled the hole, they're putting some caulking in there, and now they have a kind of a oversized flat washer. I think there's some rubber under there, but they're tightening it down, and it looks like they're deforming the washer a little bit. And once again, the problem of you have this foot on here, you gotta rock back and forth, left and right, and it's just going to crack through the shingle. I mean, shingles are not designed to be compressed like this. It's if you ever look at a 10-year roof and you're going to look at it and you can take a tile, you can bend it, and crack. They're just not designed for this. Take a look at another one here. All right, let's put some caulking in the hole. All right, so we have a foot, no flashing. All right, now line it up. Yeah, that's important. All right, well, we have a lag bolt with a rubber washer on the bottom. Well, so halfway there. All right, and here they're telling you not to over compress the washer because you don't want the rubber to be, you don't want it really squished out. All right, so you got the foot attached. We just going into the rafter, and now you want to fill it with caulking. But you have to keep it warm. You have to keep the caulking warm, or it's not going to adhere correctly. All right. So once again, on this, back and forth. It's going to get cracking here and cracking here, and it's just a recipe for disaster. All right. So we're going to look at another product. And this is actually foam. There's no bolts. All right, so what they do, they put on the panels. They have these extruded aluminum feet. All right, and they put the construction foam under it, and they push it right onto the roof. So we can look at
You
this
can
one.
get about 8 to 10 solar stacks at 8-inch lengths out of each can. So this product is beneficial compared to our 2-component because you don't have to worry about managing the internal chemical temperature, the temperature inside that product. With our 2-component, it gets a little tricky during the winter. That product needs to be between 70 and 90 degrees inside the tank whenever you're applying it. So this is really easy, really straightforward to work with, so we'll get right in.
Wait a minute. You have a temperature window of application. Yeah. I don't know. Any roof that I've been on, as any sun hits it, it's going to be hot fast. You know, it's going to be well over 70 to 90 degrees real fast. So, all right, let me show you another video here. And this is the way we do it. You know, we use a fully flashed product from day one. All right, so we drill a hole. We have an attachment here that goes on the roof. All right, then we put some caulking in there. All right, then we take our lag bolt and put it into the rafter. All right. So one thing you have to look at here, see where this lag bolt is going? All right, you're gonna see a bump in the flashing. Underneath that flashing, that's where that lag is. So it is fully covered. All right. So the flashing goes under the course above. All right. And then we have our L foot, and that goes onto our base. And then you put the nut on. Now, one thing about this, all right, this is steel. All right, this is galvanized steel, not aluminum, galvanized steel. And this foot can rock back and forth all day long. All right. You're not going to break the steel. All right. The water coming down is just going to come down. You're going to hit the little bump and keep on going down the roof. It's a much better solution. You know, this flashing isn't tacked down. You know, outside, you know, it's just slipped up under this roof. I mean, that's how flashing works. You slip it up under the course above, and you give it a path for water to keep on go about its journey. All right. So it's important to know what's going on your roof.
All right, in this video coming up, we're going to show a repair. A manager of a supply house called me up and said, "Hey, Nate, my parents had solar installed a couple years ago, and now it's leaking, and the roof's coming in, the ceiling's coming in. Can you guys help us out, please?" Let's take a look at this.
We're here at a old lease system, solar install, and they have a roof leak, pretty bad roof leak inside. We'll get some videos of inside after. So the mounting system they use is bolted to a rafter under this puck, and then the panel gets bolted to that puck. So we're going to take apart this stuff and show you what's inside and why this flashing system is less than ideal. So we're going to pop the panel off and get a better look. This is what the flashing looks like after you get the panel off. That little foot gets unbolted, and then this is the bolt that actually bolts to the rafter itself. So take this bolt off. This puck thing comes off. We've already flashed this one, and this just gets bolted down to that flashing. Sometimes on the older systems they don't have this flashing, this just gets bolted down and caulked, so those are a little more suspect and more prone to leaking than these ones actually are. So on this one, where we have the panels off, we're just going to caulk around and reset these. These ones aren't actually leaking, these are just panels we have to take off to get to the one that's actually leaking. So after we got this one off, this is the one that's leaking. As you can see, the repair is pretty extensive. The bracket was mounted right here. So we got all our shingles off, you peel the paper back, and it's drying up now, but there's a lot of water stains around here, and we'll get a video of what inside looks like as well. Directly below this is a big water stain in the attic, and then in the bedroom below is extensive drywall rot and water damage. As you can see here too, rusted nails. This one's been leaking pretty good for a long time. Got rid of all the damaged and water damaged paper, compromised paper, shingles, anything, cut the old shingles out. Got that grace back in, ice and water shield. I'm gonna reshingle it back up and close this thing back up, get rid of that leak.
All right, here's an example of another product that's used around here. I saw this promoted at the supply house. Wasn't super a fan of it, and you can see it attaches right into the underlayment. It doesn't attach into a rafter, and the underlayment just isn't strong enough. It just isn't designed to take lots and lots of weight of multiple panels. You're really taking a 4-foot span, and it's probably 40 square feet, and then you bring it up to 60 pounds per square foot for a maximum snow load. That could be a problem. Half-inch, even 5/8 plywood just is not designed for that. So we don't use that. So we really like the system that we use. It's a little more time, a little more effort, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be calling me saying you have a roof leak. So let's get back to the guys and how they're going along on this install. Okay, the guys moving right along, got all the rails up, we got all the microinverters in, and they're starting to put all of the panels in. Moving right along.
This is a video for panel installation. These are the mid clamps. Then we plug the panel into the inverter. Then we fasten the panel down.
Use the end clamp.
Slide it in.
Pull it back out.
I hope you enjoyed our video here, and looking forward to any questions and comments. Let us know. We'll always get you a quote. Visit the website, Nvenergyllc.solar, Central Mass.